everybody, welcome to Exploring with Cindy and Dan. Today we are in the beautiful city of Cartagena in Colombia with the Emerald Princess, so join us in this adventure. Today is day 7 of our 12-day Panama Canal cruise, and this is our second port of call, Cartagena in Colombia. Our 12-day Panama Canal cruise included the ports of calls of Ocho Rios, Jamaica, Cartagena Colombia, Limon Costa Rica, Colón, Panama, Grand Cayman, and our partial transit through the Panama Canal. Ocho Rios in Jamaica supposed to be our first port of call, but the weather was not ideal, and it was too windy, and our ship wasn't able to dock safely, so the captain decided not to dock in Jamaica. It was very sad, but the safety of the passengers and the crew is first, so we are happy he made the right call. We arrived in Cartagena around 7 a.m. and the all aboard was at 1:30 p.m. We were allowed to exit the ship just a little bit after 7 a.m. Once they announced that the gangways are open, you can head out to that area to disembark. And do not forget to bring your ocean medallion with you. That is the only document that you need to exit and enter the ship. Princess Cruise also recommend to bring with you a government-issued photo ID, like a driver's license or an identification ID or a passport, and always take care of your personal belongings when going offshore. Alcoholic beverages that are purchased at ports of call or duty-free from the shops of Princess in the Emerald Princess will be collected for safekeeping and delivered to the guest stateroom on the last day of your cruise. If you're going to the beach, you can take the beach towel from the ship, but remember to bring it back on board. Local authority rules says that no food, no flowers, no seed or beverage products except for water are to be taken off the ship in port to avoid a fine. If you are booked a Princess organized shore excursion, refer to the meeting times and location printed on your ticket and head to the meeting location with your party on time so you won't miss your excursion. Tour buses are parked right by the gangway. If you are not doing a Princess organized shore excursion and you're doing a walking tour on your own or independent tour of the city, just follow the signs to Port Oasis Eco Park, and then you will be able to take a taxi to downtown or wherever you want to go. There is a free shuttle that will take you from the ship to the Port Oasis Eco Park. It takes less than 5 minutes. Port Oasis is a 10,000 square meter garden with more than 1,000 animals of 86 different species. The animals that you see at this park were trafficked or need a place to recuperate until they can be returned to their natural habitat. This is a recovery, protection, and conservation center for these amazing animals. The Port of Cartagena Group were the ones in charge of this port area, and they built the necessary infrastructure for passengers in cruise ships, so they will have a more convenient way to embark and disembark, and they also took advantage of a forest already located in its facilities and established an open sanctuary for animals. This became a natural oasis in the midst of a modern port infrastructure. This is a very unique cruise port to visit. The Cartagena cruise port can accommodate 5 cruise ships at a time. Most cruise passengers visiting the Port Oasis are on the Panama Canal cruise itinerary just like us. The first area you will see is this flamingo garden. It is a nice area and a great place to see many flamingos and other types of birds. Here is where you will find a beautiful waterfall and a pond at the corner. If you see closely in the pond, you will find many koi fish. You will also see beautiful peacocks, ducks, black swans, and several other types of birds. They also have 2 aviaries that you can visit, the Birds of Prey aviary and the Wings of Colombia aviary. The aviaries are located towards the exit of the Port Oasis Eco Park, just past the Juan Valdez coffee shop, and you won't miss them. Both aviaries are enclosed, but there are doors for you to enter them, so you can get an up-close look at these birds. If you look up in the trees, you will find monkeys, peacocks, and green iguanas hanging around. If you keep walking, you will see the Parrot Emporium. They have beautiful and colorful species of parrots and macaws in this area. Unlike the macaws and other birds who frequent Port Oasis Eco Park, the birds in the aviaries do not leave the area. Instead, the aviary is their home. If you're hungry on the way back to the ship, or even when you just disembark the ship, you can grab a snack. The snack bar is located just before the tropical terrace next to the Colombian shopping village. You will find burgers, fries, empanadas, and arepas. The arepas are flat bread made from cornmeal, and they can be stuffed with a variety of ingredients, like meat, eggs, beans, or cheese. And they are originated in South America and is the staple food in Colombia and Venezuela. They have some bathrooms behind the snack bar, and they also have Wi-Fi available for cruise passengers for a small fee. It's $3 for 1 hour or $5 for 2 hours. And I believe they also offer a 24-hour Wi-Fi service for around $10. If you need something strong to drink, stop by the Juan Valdez coffee shop. You can get regular hot coffee or iced coffee. Before I forget to mention this, if you do not want to get off the ship in any of the ports of call, you really don't have to do so. You can enjoy the Emerald Princess with less people. A lot of places in the ship are open except for the casino and the shops of Princess, because by the gambling and regulation laws, they have to remain closed until we set sail and reach international waters. But the Emerald Princess had many things planned for you if you stay in the ship. The US dollar is widely accepted here in Cartagena. There are two main areas to shop. The recommended stores are mostly located at Pierino Gallo Shopping Center in Boca Grande, the residential and newer part of the city, where you will see a big selection of emeralds. If you're going to the old town, there will be also stores like Little Shopping Center and many street vendors. They could be somehow a little pushy, but keep in mind that there is a high volume of tourists in the area, and they are the primary income source for many locals. So be patient with them. Be firm when you buy something from them, but be also polite. If you are not interested in the products they are selling, just say no thank you and keep walking. We noticed that Cartagena people are very nice and very happy people. Remember also that their prices on the streets are not set prices, so you can bargain with them with no problem. Another recommendation to remember when you are in a port is that the medallion pay system, which is your ocean medallion from Princess Cruises, can be used at many merchants, including souvenir and jewelry stores in ports of call, and you will receive 7% back on shoreside purchases as on-board credit ship. Just look for the Medallion Pay logo at the entrance of the store. This is the Colombia shopping village inside the Port Oasis Eco Park. If you forget to buy something for your family or friends at home in the walled city of Cartagena or somewhere else, you can purchase many souvenirs here. It is a large building filled with many souvenirs, clothing, coffee, chocolate, candies, and beautiful handmade knickknacks. Many of these items are the same kind of items that you will find in the old town, but they are a little bit more expensive. Here you will also find emeralds. Cartagena is known for having beautiful, high-quality emeralds. There is an emerald museum in the downtown area that you might want to go. It costs $10 per person, and this price includes a tour of the museum and the emerald factory, where you can learn about the process of mining and cutting emeralds. Once you exit the Port Oasis Eco Park through the Colombian shopping village, you will find taxis that will take you to the old city in downtown Cartagena or to any other location that you would like to visit. Some of the taxis are also tour guides, and they can give you a tour of the city for around $30 or $40. And we took a cab to the old city in Cartagena, and we just did a walking tour on our own. When we visit a port for the first time, we usually do a walking tour on our own. One of the most interesting cities on our itinerary was Cartagena. Cartagena was a transit port for all the wealth of Spain derived from South America. The famous old city is comprised of 12 square blocks filled with attractions, boutiques, churches, and restaurants. You will see the Spanish Empire's influence in the New World here in Cartagena. The old city is surrounded by a wall. They also call it the walled city. This vibrant city has a fascinating and colorful past, which can be seen along its cobblestone and narrow streets, beautiful wood balconies, and stone towers. Cartagena is the land of El Dorado and many adventurers in search of the elusive gold. Cartagena's well-constructed fortifications defended its borders against pirates whose attacks lasted for more than 200 years. But today you will see still its original colonial architecture within this city. A variety of indigenous people lived along Cartagena's coastline, from the pre-Columbian period including the Carib warriors. With the European expansion into the New World in the 15th century, it was just a matter of time that this coastal region would be discovered. In 1501, while mapping South America, Spanish conquistador Rodrigo de Bastidas sailed into the bay, but it wasn't until 1533 that a permanent settlement was established by Pedro de Heredia, who named this city Cartagena de Indias. The town grew rapidly as a shipping center for silver, gold, and slaves between the Americas and Spain, but because of this, Cartagena became a target for pirates. After more than 250 years as part of the Spanish crown, Cartagena declared its independence in 1811, and today this city has been declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The cuisine of Colombia is as diverse as the culture of Colombia, due to the influences from Spain, Italy, and France, along with American cuisine, Caribbean influences, and the traditional style of the Native Americans. The local specialty includes buñuelos, which are deep-fried corn flour balls with cheese in the dough, and of course the empanadas made with potato and meat. The agua de panela, which is a drink prepared with panela, a dry cane juice, and mixed with cinnamon and cloves, is one of locals' favorites, and Colombia's national alcoholic beverage is the aguardiente. As a fun fact or interesting fact, 95% of the world's emeralds come from Colombia, and around 12% of the world's coffee is produced here in Colombia. Colombia is also the second largest fresh cut flower exporter in the world. And the last information we learned while in Colombia was that Colombia is one of the only 17 of the most biodiverse places on Earth. The country is surrounded by the Andes Mountains, the Pacific and Caribbean coastlines, tropical grasslands, and the Amazon rainforest. Colombia is a very pretty interesting country to visit. I know one day is not enough, but at least it is enough to get a taste of the country. And we will come back soon and spend some time here in Colombia. Some of the points of interest in this port are the following. The Old City or downtown Cartagena, which is what you are looking at right now. The World Historic Center of Cartagena is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Its narrow streets, lined with Spanish colonial architecture, display colorful painted buildings, local bars, restaurants, and beautiful churches. Las Murallas are considered by many the most impressive city walls in the world. Las Murallas began construction after an attack by Sir Francis Drake at the end of the 16th century. El Castillo de San Felipe de Barajas is a castle that stands guard on a hillside overlooking the city and the harbor. It is a fortress built by the Spanish for protection against pirates while shipping the silver and gold to Spain. The Historical Museum of Cartagena is a palace museum that displays instruments of torture from the Spanish Inquisition, pre-Columbian, colonial, and independence-era art. The Cartagena's cathedral is one of the largest in a series of fortresses with a massive exterior and a simple interior. It was partially demolished by Francis Drake's cannons, and it was completed in 1602. El Museo de Oro y Arqueología is a museum where you can find gold and pottery collections of the Tairona, Calima, and Sinú people, as well as panel exhibitions about the Atlantic coast culture. La Popa Monastery was built on a hill. This 17th century monastery features a chapel, a colonial museum, and a spectacular view of the city, and remains inhabited by monks even today. Another point of interest is the folkloric show. It is a presentation of music and dance that takes place at the historic Heredia Theater. They offer 5 distinct dances from 3 important regions of Colombia that are performed by a professional dance company in Cartagena. Las Bóvedas is another point of interest. You will find Las Bóvedas inside the old city. Dungeons initially built for military purposes are now home to boutiques and tourist shops. And our last point of interest is the jewelry making. You can discover the fascinating history behind Colombian esmeraldas while learning the tools and techniques of handcrafting a beautiful sterling silver ring pendant, bracelet, or earrings. This is Hard Rock Cafe, for those who love this establishment. It is located just at the entrance of the old town. Princess Cruise Line offers award-winning shore excursions, and they have a partnership with Discovery Family, and Animal Planet, and also the local connection of each port. And they curated the excursions and tours with unique and enrichment experiences that immerse guests in the destinations. It also has interactive experiences in a fun and family-friendly environment for you and your children. In the wildlife excursions, you will have interactions with regional animals in the wildlife or sanctuary settings thanks to the partnership with Animal Planet. The partnership with local connections give you a unique experience with the people of the destination. Princess Cruise Line has tours or excursions for everyone, no matter if you are a food lover, nature lover, adventure seeker, history enthusiast, or a first time on a cruise. You will love the adventure. You can book your tours or excursions through the Shore Excursion Desk on Deck 7, on the Princess app, or stateroom TVs, and also in the ocean portals around the ship. If you want to do independent tours or excursions, you will see multiple tours operators and tour guides helping cruise passengers find an excursion, and they are all located just outside the Port Oasis Eco Park, and also outside in the main streets. If you know a little bit of Spanish, it would be helpful. Just a little bit will take you a long ways. But don't worry, everybody here speaks English, especially at the tourist destinations. Now, let's talk about the Princess Excursions. They have 3 levels of activities within the excursions: easy, moderate, and strenuous levels. The easy level involves short walks on relatively flat terrain with minimal physical exertion, and they are ideal for younger children and older adults. The moderate level includes more walking, possible over uneven terrains or with some stairs. And the last one is the strenuous level that requires a significant level of physical activity such as hiking, biking, kayaking, typically on challenging terrains, and is usually for passengers in good physical conditions. So check the activity levels before booking your excursion. Since you know now what the main points of interest are in Cartagena, here are some of the Princess Cruises organized excursions. The first one is the best of Cartagena, San Felipe Fortress and Las Bóvedas. It is a moderate level activity, and it departs at 8:15 a.m. and returns to the ship at 12:45 p.m. It costs $110 for adult or children. The Old City and Historical Museum of Cartagena is a moderate level activity, and it departs at 8:45 a.m. and returns to the ship at 12:30 p.m. and it costs $85 for adult or children. The scenic drive of Cartagena and St. Pedro Calvary Church is an easy level activity. It departs at 8:45 a.m. and returns to the ship at 12:15 p.m. and it costs $70 for adult and $65 for children. The dancing into the walled city is a moderate level activity. It departs at 9 a.m. and returns to the ship at 12:30 p.m. and it costs $105 for adult or children. The Cartagena on your own, hop on, hop off is an easy level activity. It departs at 8:30 a.m. and returns to the ship at 12:30 p.m. It costs $50 for adult or children. Old City and Folkloric Show by Dance Company. It is a moderate level activity and it departs at 8:30 a.m. and returns to the ship at 12:30 p.m. and it costs $85 for adult or children. The Emerald Jewelry Making Class and Diploma is an easy level activity. It departs at 8:30 a.m. and returns to the ship at 12:30 p.m. and it costs $120 for adult or children. The Cartagena Snapshot is a small group tour, but it is a strenuous level activity. It departs at 8:15 a.m. and returns to the ship at 12:15 p.m. It costs $215 for adult or children. Aromas and Flavor of Cartagena is a moderate level activity. They have two different departure times. The first one is at 7:30 and it returns to the ship at 11:30, and the second one departs at 9:30 and returns to the ship at 1:30 p.m. and it costs $205 for adult and $180 for children. The Island of the Encanto, Isla de Encanto Beach Resort, is a moderate level activity. It departs at 7:30 a.m. and returns to the ship at 1:30 p.m. and it costs $160 for adult or children. The National Aviary of Colombia is a moderate level activity and it departs at 8 a.m. and returns to the ship at 12 p.m. It costs $145 for adult and $140 for children. Old City Walking Tour and Las Bóvedas is a moderate level activity and it departs at 8 and returns to the ship at noon. It costs $50 for adult and $40 for children. Tour of Gethsemane and the Old City is a moderate level activity and they have two departures. One at 8:30 and returns at 12:30 and the second one at 9, it returns at 1 p.m. It costs $80 for adult and $35 for children. The Colonial Cartagena Sightseeing Tour on your own is a moderate level activity and it departs at 8:30 and returns to the ship at noon. It costs $40 for adult or children. The Fortress, City Wall, and Shopping by Land and Sea is a moderate level activity. It departs at 8:15 and returns to the ship at 12:15. And it costs $95 for adult and $80 for children. The Canoe Tour of Mangrove Tunnels and Old City Stroll is a moderate level activity, departs at 8:30 and returns to the ship at 12:30 p.m. and it costs $95 for adult and $70 for children. Sea Rumba and Old City Tour is a moderate level activity and they have two departure times. The first one is at 7:30 and returns at 11:30 and the second one is at 9:30 and returns to the ship at 1:30 and it costs $140 for adult and $85 for children. And the last Princess organized excursion is the private car half-a-day Cartagena. It is an easy level activity. It departs at 8 a.m. and returns to the ship at noon and it costs $680 for adult or children. As you can see, it was very easy to navigate through Cartagena. It is a well-preserved historic center and with its picturesque streets and its beautiful plazas, you will really enjoy Cartagena. Just east of the old town, you will find a neighborhood called Gethsemane. It was a traditional working-class neighborhood, but in recent years, it's been transformed into a district full of shops, restaurants, boutiques, and cafes. You will see alleyways with colorful murals and kites, lights, and umbrellas. This is the end of our video and we hope you enjoyed it. Please like our video and subscribe to our channel with the notification bell on so you'll know when we have our next video of another port of call or another amazing location in the world. Thank you so much.